Good evening. I'd like to call the meeting Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Board to order. Irene, will you please take the roll?
Senator Bach.
Present.
Senator Eichhorn.
Present.
We're not hearing you.
Lorene, you're muted.
Sorry about that. Senator Bach. Representative Eklund.
Present.
Senator Eichhorn.
Present.
Representative Igo.
Igo present.
Representative Lislegard.
Present.
Representative Lueck.
Present.
Senator Rude. Senator Rude.
Present.
Representative Sandsted.
I'm here.
Senator Thomasoni.
Thomasoni is present.
Senator Bach. Oh, I see he's trying to, he must have jumped out.
He indicated he was present already.
Okay, we have all 9 members present.
Thank you, Irene. Need a motion to approve the minutes from the board meetings from December 14th, 2021. Representative Lislegard, will you approve the minutes?
No more.
Representative Lislegard moves the minutes. Any questions, additions, or deletions? Seeing none, all in favor, please unmute, say aye.
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 Minutes are adopted. Commissioners' comments.
Thank you. I just have a few things. I just thought I'd let the board know that, we're seeing these improving COVID conditions. So the agency has an opportunity to take the first steps towards creating a hybrid workplace. So effective April 22nd, all state office buildings will reopen to the public. And that'll provide more flexibility to where employees can work. And employees who are currently teleworking have an option to continue to do that or work in a hybrid model. And the buildings will now be more accessible to employees and for meetings with the public. So I don't know if there's any questions on that, but we're going to begin reoccupying the office on April 22nd. Yes, Representative Lislegard.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The only question that I would have is that say that we wanted to go have a meeting with one of the employees, can we request that they be present?
Well, so we require that employees, they can telework, but if there's a business reason to be in the office, they should be in the office. So I believe if there's a business need, it will be met. So if you have issues with that, let me know. But I think most employees feel that they can accommodate that. So secondly, I just want to talk a little bit about the next board meeting. So because we're reoccupying the office, the question I have is that we plan on that this will be our budget meeting. And so we are going to conduct some Zoom meetings regarding, the meetings we have with individual board members or groups of 2 for budget purposes to go through the budget. We'll probably conduct those via Zoom because last year they went very well because we could have multiple people concentrate on one document without a lot of paper shuffling. So if that's okay with everybody, unless there's some objection, we're gonna probably do that. But then I've had some discussion with some members about, we plan on, we have to have a budget meeting. We have to have our budget formally approved by the board and by the governor by the end of June. So we usually try to have that meeting somewhere between the end of session and the middle of June. So in discussions with several members, there was some concern about doing it too soon after session. So we're looking at, I believe, the week of June 6th, I think it is. And so if you have an opinion about this, please let me know either via email or call me. Everybody has my cell number. Just give me a buzz if you have some concerns. But right now we're looking at that week. So you'll be getting a poll on what day might work for you. And then we've had some requests to do it in person. We're flexible. We can do it either way, or we'll have a hybrid so Senator Tomasoni can participate. So we could probably do that for more than one if we had to. But I think in general, we're thinking about having an in-person meeting at the Evelyn office on the week of June 6th. If there's, I don't expect to get a lot of comments right this minute. So if you want to weigh in on that, please get a hold of me. Otherwise, you'll be getting a survey from Lorene on dates and everything. So we still have some wiggle room here about adjusting those. But so I just wanted to let you know that. So you'll be getting a meeting invitation to do a budget overview with the staff like we have in the past several years. And then we'll have a in-person board meeting in that first week of June. The only other comment I have is we made quite an investment in the Northeast Higher Education District with their effort to consolidate all the campuses into one college. And I just wanted to let you know that that was money well spent. The merger has now been approved by the Higher Learning Commission and by the Min-State Board of Trustees. So as of May 23rd is the official date, they will become Minnesota College North, and we'll have one college with 5 campuses, which I think was laid out pretty clearly what the advantages of that. So a student can, instead of having to re-enroll to move around to take classes at the different campuses, they can enroll once and take courses at any of the 5 campuses. It should be a great thing. There's quite a bit of other administrative efficiencies. So I think this is something that was a good investment for the board. So I just wanted to let you know that. So with that, I can answer any questions you might have, or we'll move on with the agenda.
I'm not seeing any questions right now, Commissioner, so we'll move on to.
I'm going to turn it over to Matt. We have our PowerPoint program for the board meeting like we've used the last couple of meetings. And I'll turn it over to Matt Schobert for the, so there's our agenda. We did the minutes. There we go. Matt, it's up to you.
Thank you, Commissioner. As you can see, we do have a pretty robust agenda, or as you have seen. We're going to be asking for recommendations on just over $15.5 million in agency investment tonight that will lever a total of about $57 million. The next slide shows the geographic disbursement of the projects. As you can see, they're spread through a large part of our service area. And with that, if I could, I would like to get into the projects. We're very excited about a lot of the projects that we're or all the projects that we're bringing forward tonight. And I will be presenting you can see the 4 business development projects. Actually, there's 5, but one of them is a joint project. There's an equipment component and a real estate component to the same project. Total investment, $12.7 million. you see the jobs. We're very pleased to be bringing these projects forward tonight. And with that, I would get into the first project, and I will introduce the first one, which is a 60,000 square foot addition to property that's currently owned 60,000 feet. Existing facility that's owned by the Chisholm-Hibbing Airport Authority, that's leased to Detroit Diesel Remanufacturing. The existing facility was the existing facility was completed in 2014. Since that time, Detroit Diesel Remanufacturing has been leasing the facility from the Airport Authority. The Airport Authority, the building was funded with a non-recourse loan from the agency to the Airport Authority. And we're getting repaid through the lease payments that the tenant is making. And with that, I would like to ask Janelle Greshner to give us a little more background on this project.
Great, thanks, Matt. Mr. Chair, members of the board, I wanted to just say a few words because by the time a lot of these projects come to you at the board, there's a lot of times, like in this case, years that we've been working on these projects. So about 4.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to go visit Detroit Diesel Remanufacturing's headquarters in Detroit. And we try to keep in touch with the leadership of our existing employers. And I remember I knew the building was very large. I knew it was over a mile long, but nothing prepares you to quite walk up to that facility and see how incredible the companies are that we're fortunate enough to have on the range. And with that being said, about 2 years ago, we started the conversations with Wally Bugler, plant manager, and their team at the airport. Matt's going to introduce all of our partners that are on. And initially, we started talking about a 30,000 square foot addition, but because of DMR's tremendous growth and truly because of their talent in being the electronic experts within their fleet, we were fortunate enough between the talent there and our incentive proposal, along with not only IRRB, but DEED and Regional Airport Authority and the county and the city's ability to work together. We are so fortunate to, with all the talk of EV batteries, to have a manufacturer here that is going to be taking steps forward for this incredible opportunity for not only EV batteries, but also hybrid vehicles and addressing the microchip shortage. And as you can see, my enthusiasm to be a part of this project and see it get to this point, I couldn't be prouder. And with that, Matt, I'll hand it back to introduce the partners.
Thanks, Janelle. And I'll talk a little bit about the financing structure, given that we are looking at a substantial investment. As Janelle says, we've been working on developing this project for a long time, and these things do take time. We're very fortunate, I think, to be talking about this tonight. Basically, there's a couple of components to the project. The building is estimated to cost roughly $15 million, and that would be funded between a loan from the agency to the Airport Authority for $10 million and a loan to the Airport Authority from the DEED 21st Century Fund. That likely would be through interagency participation with the agency. We would originate the full $15 million loan. It would be non-recourse to the Airport Authority, meaning that Their obligation to repay the cash would be only to the extent that they would collect the lease payments on the loan. We'd be looking at a 10-year lease on the entire 120,000 square foot facility with the 10-year option. Basically, the details of the financing haven't been completely hammered out. It's being structured with the proposal that we offered Detroit Reman, and they've accepted the general terms of that. On the 10-year lease, Detroit Reman would have a purchase option to purchase the entire facility at any time for basically the amount of the loan, the new loan along with the existing loan. The current loan has about $8 million left on it. And there would be a discount if they would purchase the facility. Well, it would be a 10-year lease. If they chose not to renew the lease for an additional 10 years, there would be a deferred lease payment basically to get out of the lease. And again, it's structured very much patterned after our existing deal with them. The infrastructure component of the project is estimated to be approximately $2.5 million. We're asking for approval to fund $500,000 of that through the agency. We're working with other potential partners, including DEED, the county, the city, to provide the remaining part of that funding. The Chisholm-Hibbing Airport Authority has retained Max Gray as its construction partner in a role as a construction manager at risk. And we will not enter into any definitive agreements until we are comfortable that the project would be fully funded. With that, I just like to say that it's been a great project to work on and give kudos to the team, including folks at the agency. Janelle's played an integral role in developing the project. Scott Sunval's been very helpful. We also have the potential partners. I mean, as Janelle mentioned, I mean, this project, it checks a lot of boxes, and there's a lot of reasons why we're excited about seeing this move forward. The team that the Airport Authority has put together, including a construction partner, RS&H Engineers and Architectural Resources, has done a great deal of groundwork to get us to the point where we're at. The city of Hibbing has been extremely helpful. I'd be remiss not to mention Barrett Ziemer. I mean, this is not the primary line of business of the airport, and they've been extremely helpful in moving the thing forward. And finally, and most of all, to Wally Bugler and his team at Detroit Reman. Obviously, without the company, we wouldn't have a project and we wouldn't be talking about it right now. And I just want to say what a pleasure it is to work with a company of this caliber, as Janelle mentioned also. Barrett Ziemer from the Airport Authority, Wally Bugler from Detroit Reman are here, along with Greg Brzezinski from the city of Hibbing, along with Candy Sepola and Mayor Rick Kanata of the city of Hibbing. And we would be very happy to entertain any questions board members may have.
Thank you, Mr. Schoberg. Representative or Senator Bach.
Well, and Matt, maybe the Airport Authority can answer this, but we've invested an awful lot of money at that Chisholm-Hibbing Airport. I'm just wondering, in these lease payments that service the debt, is the Airport Authority parking any money for future maintenance? I mean, someday these buildings will need a new roof, other maintenance, HVAC systems. what's the situation with ongoing maintenance on these buildings so that someday the airport authority doesn't come back to us and say, hey, we need another 3 million to put a new roof on? It just seems like, so I'm very interested in if the lease payments are parking some money for future maintenance needs, because this isn't our only building there. And if they're not, they need to.
Schober.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman, Senator Bach. Once the lease would get up to full payments on the lease, I mean, there is a significant amount of lease revenue coming in annually. That would be approximately, I believe it'd be just over $700,000 a year. We would hope that, I mean, the building right now, it is 8 years old. And the new building obviously would be new. We hope that the debt would actually be retired before it would need any significant improvements. And I guess, I'd just say, is there anything you'd have to add to that, Barrett?
Mr. Chair, Senator Bach, Matt, yes. The current lease does provide a land lease to the airport authority. And we also, in an agreement with the city of Hibbing, the city of Hibbing remits their share of the property tax back to the airport authority. And the airport authority has been, since the lease began, putting that money into an economic development account, which is a fund that we could do to perform maintenance on the building. Detroit Diesel is responsible for upkeep of like the HVAC systems in the building itself, but the airport authority does have some exposure with the parking lots and roof, as you mentioned, and that's where those monies would come from. We'll also be renegotiating the lease and trying to get that land lease rate up a little bit, just to build that reserve faster.
Well, thank you. I think that's awful important. I don't want to burden the agency with having to do ongoing maintenance on these buildings that frankly we're building for free. And
right.
So take a hard look at creating some kind of a dedicated account for ongoing maintenance, because I hope we can build more there someday. I just don't want to be saddled with the maintenance of the buildings.
Point very well taken, Senator.
I'm muted. Any other member questions? Seeing none, I don't see any hands raised. Senator Thomasoni moves resolution 22-017, seconded by Representative Sandsted. Maureen, please take the roll.
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund, Senator Eichhorn,
Aye.
Representative Eigel,
I go aye.
Representative Sandsted,
Aye.
Senator Thomasoni,
Thomasoni votes yes.
we have 9 yes.
9 yes and 0. 9 yes and 0 nays. Resolution 22-017 passes. Next up, number 5 on the agenda, ASV Holdings Incorporated, resolution 22-018. I want to remind folks it makes it a little easier if we run through the chair rather than having people jump in. So presenting would be Matt Schoberg and Ryan Malich. Thanks, Lorraine.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just in introducing this before I turn it over to Ryan, say this is another project. Well, we're very excited about all the projects that we've brought forward, but ASV I think is it's a great facility, and if you have a chance to get in and tour it and see what we're doing in Grand Rapids, it's really impressive. And with that, I'd just turn it over to Mr. Molich.
Thanks, Matt. Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next project is a $1 million direct loan to ASV Holdings, Inc. of Grand Rapids. ASV was founded in Marcel, Minnesota in 1983 and is a manufacturer of compact equipment, including compact track loaders. In 1995, with support from the agency, the City of Grand Rapids, and the Grand Rapids EDA, ASV expanded into Grand Rapids. In 2019, ASV was acquired by the Yanmar Group. Yanmar is a diesel engine company founded in 1912, whose compact equipment division has been designing, manufacturing, selling, and servicing mini excavators, loaders, and other compact equipment since 1968. The merger of ASV and Yanmar provides significant opportunities in the North American market for both brands, which is why ASV is moving forward with this, with a significant expansion of their Grand Rapids production facility, including construction of a 60,000 square foot high bay warehouse, site improvements, assembly layout modifications, and additional equipment and staffing. Total project costs are estimated to exceed $9.4 million, and sources of funds include incentives from DEED, the City of Grand Rapids, Itasca County, and approximately $6.8 million in capital expenditures from the company. Proceeds of our $1 million direct loan will be used towards eligible project costs. This project will result in the addition of hundreds of jobs at one of the premier manufacturers in the taconite assistance area. If there are any questions, with me today I have Mr. Tate Johnson, President, Mr. Tom Foster, Director of Global Operations, Ms. Melissa Howe, your Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Jamie Janisich, the Director of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. Mallett. Any member questions on this project? If I don't see your hands, let me know. Senator Bach.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Malich, the loan is got a forgivable feature. I'm just wondering what the terms of the forgivability of it are.
Mr. Malich.
Mr. Chair, Senator Bach, the forgiveness is still being worked out and will be nailed down in the loan agreement. What Mr. Schoberg has recommended right now is a phased approach in the forgiveness based on the number of jobs added. Right now, it's looking like we're going to track that forgiveness after year 3 through years 7 of the loan, with $200,000 of forgiveness occurring each year. The goal being, if the company meets their job additions, the loan would be 100% forgivable.
Senator Bach.
Well, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Malich, I can't remember doing one of these where the board didn't know what the conditions of the forgiveness was. I think, please, keep us updated when the final term sheet is put together, I think, so that we know what they are. I don't want to go on the road of being totally inconsistent one project to another. This is a great project with a lot of jobs, right? So it probably rises to a different level than others, but I think the board should know what the final term sheet is.
Mr. Schoberg.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, Senator Bach. Absolutely. We will, once we agree on the details on a term sheet, we definitely will share it with the board.
Senator Bach.
No, that's all, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Any other member questions? Seeing none, Senator Eichhorn moves resolution 22-018, seconded by Representative Igo. Maureen, will you please take the roll?
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Yes.
Representative Eichel,
Yes.
Representative Listenberg,
Yes.
Representative Lewick,
Yes.
Senator Rude,
Yes.
Representative Sandsted,
Yes.
Senator Thomasoni,
Thomasoni votes yes.
We have 9 yes, 0 no.
9 yes, 0 way, resolution 22-018 passes. Next up, number 6 on the agenda, Highland Holdings LLC, DBA Minstar, resolution 22-019. Mr. Schoberg and Mr. Malik are presenting again.
Mr. Chair, Mr. Malich will introduce this project.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the next project is a $230,592 participation loan to Highland Holdings LLC, doing business as Minstar Group. Minstar Technologies was founded in 1993 in Grand Rapids and has grown to be the industry leader in custom wire harness and electrical system solutions. Minstar was purchased by Highland Holdings and Mr. George Kloos in September of 2020. And under Mr. Kloos's leadership has seen an increase in revenue and number of employees. Minstar serves a wide range of industries and manufacturers across the US and is known for delivering high quality products, customer-focused solutions, and unparalleled customer service and reliability. This $461,185 project that we are participating in with Core Trust Bank of Delano will allow Minstar to purchase 3 new pieces of equipment, which provides them with a full line of automated wire cutting and assembly equipment to meet customer needs. The equipment will improve efficiency and result in the addition of 10 jobs. If there are any questions with me, I have Mr. George Kloos, Chief Manager of Highland Holdings, who I've had the pleasure of working with through this process.
Thank you, Mr. Malich. Any member questions? Seeing none, Representative Igo moves resolution 22-019, seconded by Representative Rood, or Senator Rood. Sorry about that, Senator. Green, will you please take the roll?
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Yes.
Representative Igo,
Yes.
Representative Lissigar,
Yes.
Representative Lewick,
Yes.
Senator Rood,
Yes.
Representative Sandstorm,
Yes.
Senator Thomasoni.
Thomasoni votes yes.
We have 9 yes and 0 no.
9 yes and 0 nays. Resolution 22-019 passes. Next on the agenda, number 7, Reynolds Manufacturing Incorporated, DBA Northland Machine Incorporated, Reynolds Enterprises LLC. Resolution 22-020, presenting as Matt Schoberg and Scott Sunball. Gentlemen, please proceed.
Mr. Chair, Scott Sunball will introduce this project.
Please proceed, Mr. Sunball.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, these next 2 loans are both for John Reynolds with Reynolds Enterprises LLC and Reynolds Manufacturing Incorporated. Reynolds Manufacturing has purchased 100% of the assets of Northland Machine Inc. and Reynolds Enterprises LLC will be the real estate holding company. The business will continue doing business as Northland Machine. The agency is participating with both loans with Security State Bank and Hibbing. The real estate loan will be split 50-50, $560,000 each. The equipment or asset loan will be also split 50-50 at $450,000 each. John Reynolds says he's brought a significant amount of equity into the project. We do have a seller carry with a subordinate position on the real estate of $600,000. Total project cost on this will be right around $3.1 million. Reynolds Manufacturing does plan to hire 7 to 9 new employees within the next couple of years while retaining the existing 29. Wages will be $18 to $38 an hour. The real estate loan will be secured by a first position real estate mortgage and a personal guarantee of John Reynolds. The equipment loan will be both secured by a blanket UCC and a personal guarantee of John Reynolds. We do have John Reynolds on the Zoom here if there are any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sunball. Any member questions? This is an easy night. We should do these board meetings more often at 6 maybe. Seeing none. Representative Sandsted moves resolution 22-02 excuse me, I'll start over. 22-020, seconded by Representative Lewick. Lorraine, will you please take the roll?
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Yes.
Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Listagard,
Yes.
Representative Lewick,
Yes.
Senator Rude,
Aye.
Representative Sandsted,
Yes.
Senator Thomasoni.
Thomasoni votes yes.
We have 9 yes and 0 nay.
9 yes and 0 nay. 22-020 is passed and moves forward. Number 8 on the agenda, FY22 Development and Community Infrastructure Projects, Resolution 22-021. Staff presenting is Matt Schoberg and Chris Ishmael.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, Chris Isma will be introducing the 10 development and community infrastructure projects.
Please proceed, Mr. Ishmael.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. As Mr. Schoberg stated, there's 10 fiscal year 22 infrastructure projects to close out our budget for this fiscal year. The agency's investment, $2,603,689. Total project investment, $35,672,430. The leverage is $1 agency funds to $13 private and other funds. First project for your review and recommendation, City of Grand Rapids requesting $350,000. Project consists of infrastructure, site work, and facility expansion for all season vehicles ASV located in Grand Rapids. ASV is an industry leader in compact equipment production and sales and parts distribution. ASV currently occupies a 300,000 square feet of production and warehouse space on a 27-acre campus. The proposed project involves a significant expansion of the Grand Rapids production facility with the addition of a 60,000 square foot high bay warehouse, site improvements, and assembly layout modifications, and additional equipment and staffing. Project is expected to create 363 permanent jobs and 32 construction jobs. City of La Prairie requested amount $312,000. Project consists of water, sewer, roads for new recreational vehicle park and campground in La Prairie. The development located on the Prairie and Mississippi rivers will include a 49-unit campsite for RVs, 49 new campsites, RV campsites with access to water and electricity and sanitary sewer. The sewer and water extension into the undeveloped property, it'll enable a future phase of residential housing in that region. The project is expected to create 2 permanent jobs and 13 construction jobs. City of Silver Bay, grant request $700,000. The project consists of infrastructure and roads for a planned housing and resort development, Sawtooth 16 LLC, and the City of Silver Bay have entered into a development agreement to develop land into a planned development that will create up to 53 units of housing, including single family lots, townhome, tiny house rentals, approximately 110 units of commercial storage, and a 2,200 square foot event and wellness center. The overall development is estimated just under $19 million with a 60-month build-up period. The project is expected to create 3 permanent jobs and 111 construction jobs. City of Virginia, the request $176,894. Project consists of Highway 53 intersection alignment and reconstruction. This is at the entrance of P&H Road in Virginia. The current intersection access to P&H Road from Highway 53 is a serious safety risk. The intersection was in existence prior to the building of a new facility in 2011, which is currently owned by Komatsu. Mining haul trucks cross this intersection from US Steel Mintac to access Komatsu. Frequent traffic also includes outbound oversized heavy loads going both north and south, bound from Komatsu, such as electric mining shovel dippers, shovel booms, and shovel frames. Employees of Komatsu, 70 full-time equivalent, and employees of Cleveland Cliffs Minorca, 350 full-time equivalent, also use this intersection frequently. Komatsu is a manufacturer of large mining equipment for the Iron Range region of Minnesota and Michigan. Komatsu also manufactures large structure components that ship out of Virginia, Minnesota facility to Canada and the Western United States. The project is expected to create 3 construction jobs. Community infrastructure projects, Goodland Township, requested amount $20,000, and the project consists of replacement the heating and cooling system in the Goodland Community Center. Center was built in 1990, and the original HVAC system had numerous repairs that needs to be replaced. The community center serves as the hub for the Goodland Township and provides space for government business, community gatherings, election polling and voting, and emergency disaster relief shelter. Project is expected to create 1 construction job. City of Ely, $250,000 request. The project consists of waterline relocation and replacement for Ely School District's campus reconstruction project. The water mains that serve the campus from the city are over 100 years old and inadequate to meet the campus's fire protection and demand needs. During the planning of the school project, it was discovered that there are unacceptable levels of lead in the drinking water servicing the campus students and staff. With additional testing, it was determined that the source may be the existing water lines on campus that serve the buildings. City of Ely and ISD 696 have worked collaboratively with the Minnesota Department of Health to identify a solution to address the health concern. They determined the best resolution is to replace a cast iron line servicing the campus with new lines that will provide adequate water supply as well as correct the current lead issues. The project is expected to create 4 construction jobs. City of Keewatin, requested amount $180,734. Project consists of construction of a new sewer line from Keewatin to Nashwauk. The city of Keewatin's existing mechanical wastewater facility requires significant upgrades. As a more cost-effective and viable alternative to rehabbing that facility, Keewatin's flows will be routed to a regional expanded wastewater facility in the city of Nashwauk. Project is expected to create 16 construction jobs. City of Marble, requested amount $325,000. The project consists of construction of a new water tower. This includes the design and construction of a 75,000-gallon elevated water tank, removal of the existing tank, associated site work to include water main modifications, tree clearing, foundation work, and access road reconstruction, and the installation of a citywide metering system. And the project is expected to create 10 construction jobs. City of Orr, request amount $74,859. The project consists of lift station rehabilitation to improve service to residents and replacement of a force main to reduce inflow and infiltration issues. Replacement of the lift station and force main will provide a more stable flow to the wastewater treatment plant. Failure of this lift station will contaminate groundwater and cause the sewage backup in the homes that it serves. The plan is to replace the pumps and convert the dry well to a wet well. Project is expected to create 2 construction jobs. Final request, City of Silver Bay. The requested amount is $214,202. Project consists of excavation, installation of water main, hydrants, curb stops, sanitary sewer main, sanitary lift station, and gravel and site work. The extension of public infrastructure to Bayview Park will provide the opportunity for a housing development project. Project is expected to create 10 construction jobs. And Mr. Chair, members of the board, I'll entertain any questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Ismail. Member questions? Senator Bach.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ismail, is the Ely Waterline project time sensitive? And my reason for asking is this recent federal infrastructure bill that was passed has a tremendous amount of money to replace lead water lines. And the money's not going to be appropriated by the legislature. I met with Jeff Freeman from the Public Facilities Authority this week about it, and I hope to learn more tomorrow when we have the governor's budget in front of the committee. But it's a tremendous amount of money, tens of millions of dollars every year for the next 5 years, specifically for to resolve lead water line issues. Do we know how time sensitive this is, or can we they're working on the criteria and all the grant criteria now. How time sensitive is it relative to the school project?
Mr. Ismail.
Mr. Chair, Senator Bach, A very good question. And I have been in touch with Jeff Freeman also. And this project initially wasn't on my recommended memo to the commissioner, but came to us just because it was so time sensitive. It's going to hold up the school construction on the referendum that they passed and the money that our agencies invested already. If these lines can't be replaced, I mean, they have to be replaced now, or the school project comes to a standstill here when we hit June. So it is something that our agency is always trying to capture those dollars from St. Paul if at all possible. But in this case, we needed to, I guess, partner up with the city on this right now.
Senator Bach.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you, Mr. Ismail. Just so that the other cities that are watching this don't think they're going to come to the agency for lead water line work when there's going to be a process and a lot of federal money for it. I just want to raise that caution, and I'm glad you talked to Mr. Freeman about that. My second question is the Silver Bay project. One, what's the location of it? And then two, who are the principals in Sawtooth 16 LLC that's actually doing a significant development there?
Mr. Ismail.
Mr. Chair, Senator Bach, Lorene, if you could, can you backslide up to that project? It should be maybe the third project on the actual slides. Yeah, right there. Thank you. So I guess this isn't a good map location, but if our board members or the public are aware of the Black Beach project, and I think this really opened the door for the Black Beach project. This sits just east. When I say just east, right there off of the Black Beach. And to give more detail on this, Senator Bach, I do have Lana Frolick with the city of Silver Bay and our primary developer, John Anderson, both here. If you want to introduce yourselves, and you can talk about the location or give some feedback on this project.
Ms. Frolick.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Senator Bach, Mr. Ismail. The location is down right by the lake as you're going towards Grand Marais on the north portion of undeveloped land. It is a very rocky terrain. And so it is something that we are looking to develop with housing. And it was an idea that Sawtooth LLC, who owns some property down there, had their townhouse plan, but we looked at doing something with this property on a larger scale for our whole entire Bayview Park. And this is just one component of that. But if you're familiar with the American, right off of Highway 61, the resort would be just to the north of that for that development. John Anderson, who's been working with us for multiple years on creating something down here, is on here as well. He is the sole owner of Sawtooth 16 LLC, and he would be doing the primary investment in there. And he can talk to you about his company, but this is a significant project for us, and it's something that we need to expand our infrastructure into to get housing developed. It is a market that is hot right now, so time is of the essence, and so that is just some update. If you have any further questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Senator Bach, did you want to hear from Mr. Anderson as well?
Well, yes, but first to Ms. Frolick, I was hoping we were redeveloping the golf course property. I know it's been a burden to the city for a long time, and it does seem like an awful good location to build some housing, but certainly some development down at the lake would be good. But yeah, let's hear from Mr. Anderson what he hopes to build and how many years he thinks it's going to take to build it out. And the idea of a wellness center, I really like that also.
John Anderson here. Thank you, Senator Bach, and thank you, other board members. This is a super exciting project, not only for me, but for the city of Silver Bay. We've been working on this for many, many years, and finally it's come to fruition with the ability to purchase this additional land and kind of create this almost another small little city just south of Highway 61. We have some spectacular views. For many of the areas, they'll all be able to have a visible view of the lake. The Wellness Center will also have a view of the lake. And it really, in partnership with the city has been tremendous to work with. And unfortunately, we just have some challenges with the geological terrain that we have to come and ask for money to be able to put the proper sewer and water structure in to serve this and potentially other developments along the way.
Senator Bach.
No, I think that's fine. Mr. Anderson, congratulations. We need more entrepreneurs like you that want to build things in northeastern Minnesota.
Well, thank you.
Any other member questions?
Mr. Chair, I'll just note one more thing for the board that.
Mr. Ismail.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As we work at our agency on things like childcare and housing and workforce that we have shortages across the state and in our region, this is a huge project from a housing perspective. And it's also sits within the city limits of Silver Bay. So it's a tax-based piece that we look at. And then we know that from a tourist perspective, folks drive by the entrance of Silver Bay to head up to Lutsen and Grand Marais. And this is continued development at the doorstep of Silver Bay to allow folks to be able to enter their city and spend dollars within their city.
Thank you, Mr. Ismail. Any other member questions or comments? Seeing no hands, Senator Bach moves resolution 22-021, seconded by Representative Woodsgard. Maureen, will you please take the roll?
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn,
Yes.
Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Liskar,
Yes.
Representative Lewick,
Yes.
Senator Rude,
Aye.
Representative Sandsted,
Yes.
Senator Thomasoni.
Thomasoni votes yes.
We have 9 yes, 0 nay.
Yes, 0 nay. Resolution 22-021 passes. Next up, number 9 on the agenda, the Regional Trails Projects, Resolution 22-022. The staff presenting is Linda Johnson and Jim Plummer.
Mr. Chairman, board members, we have 5 regional trail projects to present this evening, and Jim Plummer will be providing you the information.
Please proceed, Mr. Plummer.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, the total agency investment for these 5 grants is $281,115 with a total project amount of $602,232. The first grant is for Iron Range Tourism Bureau for $100,000. This grant is for funding the Northern St. Louis County Trails Task Force Small Projects Grant Program. Grants were formally awarded to this program in recent years and have provided grants for 22 small trail projects. These grants have been crucial in funding projects that are often not eligible for larger and more complicated grants and have supported ATV, snowmobile, hiking, Nordic skiing, and biking projects. The second grant is to the city of Eveleth for $21,378. This grant is for the first phase of the Fail Pond Trail Project and is to reroute, redesign, and reconstruct a new trail on the southeast side of Fail Pond. The third grant is for Blackberry Township, which is located along Highway 2, just west of the city of Warba and east of La Prairie. The grant is to develop a 3/4 mile long walking and hiking trail and adds to the current amenities in the park, which includes a town hall, pavilion, playground, ball field, and hockey rink. And the grant's for $29,737. The fourth grant is for the Northern ATV Joint Powers Board for $50,000. The newly formed Northeast Regional ATV Joint Powers Board is an effort by St. Louis, Couchiking, and Lake counties to create a comprehensive regional approach to planning and funding future ATV trail projects. The project is to create a master plan aimed to improve ATV connectivity to local destinations throughout the region and within the IRRR service area. This process will focus on new routes, environmental compliance, and economic benefits. The last grant is for Itasca County for an amount of $80,000. This project is a collaboration of Itasca County, the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, and the city of S Lake. This is the second phase of the project and is a non-motorized bituminous trail located within the right-of-way of Trunk Highway 46 within S Lake. The new trail will establish a much-needed safe route for pedestrians that provides a connection to businesses and services. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chair and members of the board.
Thank you, Mr. Plummer. Any member questions? Everybody must be tired. All right, Representative Lewick moves resolution 22-022, seconded by Senator Rude. Maureen, can you please take the roll?
Senator Bach,
Yes.
Representative Eklund,
Yes.
Senator Eichhorn. Aye. Representative Eigel,
Yes.
Representative Listercard,
Yes.
Representative Lewick,
Yes.
Senator Rude. Aye. Representative Sandsted,
Yes.
Senator Thomasoni.
Thomasoni votes yes.
We have 9 yes, 0 nay.
9 yes and 0 nay. Resolution 22-022 passes. Next item on the agenda is other. Any member comments? Seeing none, I think I can adjourn this meeting. The meeting is, so Commissioner Phillips.
I just want to thank everybody for, I realize this is a tough time to get this meeting pulled together, and I appreciate the efficiency of it all. But the staff put a lot of effort into these projects. These two, we've seen a big surge in economic development activity, and these two huge projects with Detroit Diesel and ASV particularly. I mean, they stand out, hundreds of jobs involved and everything. So I just want to commend the staff for all the work they put in on these. And on the grant side, I just want you to know that we, after our legislative audit program evaluation, we established a way to score these projects one against another. And, we try to fund the highest scoring projects. Well, our problem is we probably have another close to $5 million of high scoring projects, and we have no money left this fiscal year. So we're going to be, at the next meeting, the budget meeting, we're going to be funding quite a few of those projects in the next fiscal year. So we have an issue with grant funding because of the surge in activity, and it's post-pandemic surge. I think you're seeing it with the economy, with what's going on in the whole country, really. So I just want to give you a heads up that you're going to see quite a bit of activity coming our way. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other member question before we adjourn? Well, thanks for your attention, everybody. The meeting is adjourned.